Hi, I'm Ruthie Grain. Thank you for stopping by this evening to see what I'm working on. I'm going to be working with a set that I ordered a year ago, and it just stayed put in the back and I just never got it out to work with it. And I'm so glad that I have the last couple of days. It's called the Woven Heirlooms Bundle. It comes with an embossing folder for rectangle. That's this one. And then it comes with the die that goes with that. Then it also comes with an oval framelit, and here is the oval die that goes with it. And I'm going to show you how to use these today. They make really beautiful cards. I've got two here that I've been playing with today that I want to show you. And I use the Bird Ballad Suite or bundle that is current in the annual catalog, but will be, I think, retiring the end of May. So just another couple of weeks, and it had this gorgeous designer series paper. Beautiful colors. I really like working with it. So this card is Calypso Coral base with some of the Bird Ballad designer series paper. This is cut 4 by 5 1/4. And then I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful frame. Can you see, if I bring this up to the camera closer, the detail of the scrolling on the frame is just beautiful. And of course you can use it either way. You can use it with the embossing bump, with the bump going up, or you can flip it over. And then I just cut this small piece of designer series paper with these two beautiful birds to fit inside the frame. And I'll give you the dimensions on that in just a minute. So let me show you first how we use these die cut and embossing folder. So I'm going to start with the rectangle one for you. And what you do is you get your, I call this my mat size. This measures 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to put my frame, my die cut on there and just eye it so that I've got, you know, the same amount of space going all around so that it's centered. And then let me show you the sandwich that you would use to run this through your Big Shot. I like to use the magnetic plate, and then would be one of the acrylic plates. And then this would go down. And remember, if you turn it just a little bit, it takes some of the stress off of the die when it runs through if you let it go through at an angle rather than straight on. So once you have this die placed on here and at an angle to run through your Big Shot, you've got the acrylic plate on top that you would sandwich it just like this to run through your Big Shot. Let me show you. If you run it through, this is what you would come out with. You have this outer frame and this inner frame. And these three pieces are what come out of your machine when you run it through like that. When you go to use your embossing folder, this is a trick that I learned. If you take this center piece and put it on the inside space, this is the frame that you'll be running through the embossing folder with, and it just helps to serve as a guide. If I put my frame on top of there and see how it just kind of nestles in with that square, the rectangular piece of cardstock right here. So that makes your sandwich like that. And then let me show you how that would run through.
Doesn't look like a sandwich to me.
Doesn't look like a sandwich. Pretty
There's not enough meat in that sandwich.
hardcore bread, huh? So then we would use our platform here with no acrylic plate on top, and this is considered a big 3D embossing folder. So Stampin-UP came up with this blue acrylic plate that would go on the top. So do you see how the sandwich is in, the meat is in the sandwich like this, Mr. Mike? And then you put this blue acrylic top on. This is how you would run it through your Big Shot. And then when you run that through, you end up with this white frame here that's been embossed, and you can now put together your frame. So I'm going to move these pieces. This bigger piece you could use on another card. Just to show you, if we had this would be our card front. I could use this as a decorative frame and do my work inside there. So it gives you another whole frame, so you can hang on to that piece and use it for another time. All right. So let me show you how we put this together. So on the back I have this cardstock. This is Calypso Coral. And I didn't like it when I put just the designer series paper up against the white frame. I liked a little bit of the Calypso Coral coming through to coordinate with my card. So that piece of cardstock measures 2 1/4 by 3, and that is just bigger than the hole. So you would attach that to the back side of your frame, and it would just be all Calypso Coral in here. Then this designer series paper, I cut out of the designer series paper pack, and this measures 1 3/4 by 2 3/4. Or you could, before you put your cardstock on the back, you could use this frame to trace on the paper and hand cut with your scissors. But I had measured out 1 3/4 by 2 3/4 right on top of this bird trio that I wanted to use. And you notice it's just a hair smaller, probably a 32nd smaller than the Calypso Coral, so that just kind of frames it again. And then I'm going to attach with dimensionals my frame. And I use a lot when I do something like this because I don't want it to have any give. I want it to be a nice solid foundation. So I'm going to put several of these dimensionals along here. I should have probably done this beforehand. Mr. Mike, what was it we were discussing earlier?
Sandwiches.
Oh no, and dies and embossing folders. Do you know what those are?
What a die is?
Yeah, what's a die?
It's opposite of living.
Well, you're correct, but it cuts.
Oh,
So when
die's
we're
cut.
Yes, so when we're using the die, the oval, it's going to cut out an oval shape. These edges are actually sharp and will cut out the oval shape. And then
Well, how about that?
And then embossing folder, just let me quiz you a little further.
Oh no.
The embossing folder,
It embosses.
which is
It makes bumps.
bumps and indentations, right. So you've got the positive or the negative side of the
Positive
embossing.
bumps.
I forgot to show you this is the oval, and I did the same thing. Now, it took me quite a little bit to get this oval in here, and all I've got that stuck on with is my regular adhesive so that that stays there. But it really was a trick to get all of my sides being the same, having the same spacing, because that's what allows you then to come and put your oval on here straight. So you're only going to get as straight of an embossed image as your oval is in here. So that took quite a little bit of finagling on the oval. It was much easier on the rectangle, but I wanted to be sure to tell you that. All right, now I need to peel all these off. And if you indent the middle of your dimensionals, I don't know if you know this little trick, I think I've shared it before. If you indent all of the dimensionals, they peel up much easier, except that one, of course. So we need to peel off all of these backings. That's the only problem with using so many, is that it takes quite a while to get all of these pulled off of here. But we'll get through this together. That one tore just a little bit. And this one. Okay. I chose a different designer series paper for this one. I love this pool party background and the flowers. It doesn't matter that my bird is upside down because we're going to cover that with this frame. And I did the first card tilted that way. I think I'm going to tilt this one this way. And just like that, maybe. That looks good. Then I've got the Thinking of You Did I show Mr. Mike? I don't think I did. The stamp set that goes with the Woven Heirlooms is right here. I didn't show you that. So as a bundle, you get both of those dies, the embossing folders, and this stamp set. This is carrying over into the new annual catalog, but of course they're going to split it apart. You have to order the framelits separate from the stamp set in the new catalog coming out. So I love these sentiments. Prayers and heartfelt sympathy are with you and your family. Wishing you a day of love and joy. I love you, thank you so much, and thinking of you. So that's where I got the thinking of you from here. And this measures, I think this is 7/8 of an inch by, I don't think I wrote that down, 7/8 of an inch by 2 3/4. And I stamped this in soft suede. And then the stamp that also comes in the Woven Heirlooms is this little guy right here. And that's what I used to just peek in several times on my strip, just to give it a little bit more flair and to fill the space. I didn't want quite so much white space showing. I already put my dimensionals on the back here and show you what I'm going to do with that. I did not do a banner cut on this one, but just a rectangle. And then I'm going to put it down here in this corner, leaving just a little bit of the designer series paper to show. And then I'm going to come up and over the frame here. All right, and then on the inside, this opens this way. Prayers and heartfelt sympathy are with you and your family. So that's that card, and this was the first one I showed you with the little bow there and the little banner. I just stamped the thank you so much from the same set and did a little banner cut on the ends there. And I put the world needs more of you, and that actually was a sentiment from the Free as a Bird or the Bird Ballad Bundle. That's right here. The world needs more of you, and thank you so much. So that is my card for today. I hope you'll take a look. The Woven Heirlooms Bundle is pictured first on page 4 in the annual catalog. Then it refers you to page 13, and you'll see the dies again on page 179 in the back of the annual catalog. So there's 3 places that you can view these dies, and I hope that you'll give them a try. Oh, I forgot I have another card over here using the oval. Let me move these 2 out of the way and we'll concentrate on oval. It's done the exact same way as the rectangle framelits. So I used, again, a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of, this is pretty pink? Doesn't sound right. And then I ran this through the die first. You always do your die cut first. Then you put it on your embossing folder, run that through, and that embosses it and gives you this frame. And I put, I measured for this oval piece, I measured Whisper White, and it measures 2 3/8 by 3 5/8. To get that to fit behind here, on the corners it stuck out just a little bit, but I needed it to be that wide for the width of the oval. So I got it all in place, and then I just reached up underneath there with my snips and snipped off the little corners that were sticking out. But that gave me a nice wide base to get my sentiment stamped here in the middle. And then I've got this popped up with several dimensionals as well. And this is more of that designer series paper from the Bird Ballad papers. And then I used Thinking of You and stamped the little leaves down here, which is also from the Free as a Bird set. So here are my cards. I'll show them to you once again, and I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. And I hope you'll look at these heirloom the Woven Heirloom set and perhaps order yours before the end of May to get your 10% discount when it comes out again in the new 2020-2021 catalog, they will be separated and you'll lose your 10% discount on that. So thanks for stopping by today, and I hope I've showed you something new that you've never seen before, and I hope that you'll order them and give them a try. At the bottom of the video, Mike will place my hostess code if you will please use that and order from my DBWS site at stampinarkansas.stampinup.net, and there will be a place to put that hostess code in. My host for this month is going to receive the benefits for all the orders that are placed this month. Thanks a lot, and stop in again and check, see what I'm doing. Bye now. Out of the way. Okay.
All right.
Oh.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi everybody, thanks for stopping by and checking in on what I'm working on. I ordered the Woven Heirloom framelets and dies.
Cut!
Screw up! And then this is a new plate that Stampin' Up! Came out with to use with the new 3D. Sorry, we're doing the die cutting, not the embossing right now. So we just need the other acrylic plate. Cut! I don't have it.